Welcome back, disc golf enthusiasts, to the ultimate preview of the 2023 Disc Golf World Championships. In this video, we're looking at MPO. If you haven't seen our FPO video already, very similar to this one, diving in to the stats on this incredible field we have here that are gearing up to compete on two of the most challenging courses on tour for the World Championship. Go ahead and check that one out. This is going to be very similar to that. We're going to be diving deep into the stats, exploring the unique play styles, and uncovering some of that captivating Instagram accounts of some of our top MPO players on the verge of making history. So once again, grab your discs, get ready, take some notes, and let's tee off into the fascinating world of the 2023 Disc Golf World Championship. First up, we have the number one player in the world, Calvin Heimberg, out of Safety Harbor, Florida. In the last 12 months, he's got 3 wins, 14 podiums, and 21 top 10s out of 24 events that he's played in, earning just short of $100,000 just from tournament winnings alone. He's been absolutely phenomenal this year, extremely consistent. His stats back that up. He's second in fairway hits, a very clean player, first in parked percentage, fourth in Circle 1 in regulation, third in Circle 2 in regulation, first in birdie percentage, 20th in scramble, 26th in C1X putting, and 21st in Circle 2 putting. If anything is going to undo Calvin here, it's going to be his putting. When he's had struggles closing out some of these tournaments this year, it's been on the putting green mostly. But as you can see from his results so far this year, he has been extremely consistent, almost always in the top 10. His worst finish at Champions Cup was merely 16th place. And remember here, we're talking about MPO, where the field sizes are usually, at or around 100 players. So this is extremely impressive. He won Las Vegas, first event of the year. He won the Innova Open at Texas State. He won Jonesboro down in Arkansas, and he won at he didn't win at President's Cup. Team USA did, but he's got 3 wins this year on the Pro Tour. A Silver Series, couple of Elite Series. So tons of second places, tons of third places, as we can see here. Remarkably consistent year. You can pretty much count on Calvin finishing at or near the top here at the World Championships. If you're not following him on Instagram, as my dogs go crazy in the background over there, it's at Keimborg. He's a great follow, loves pizza. You know him. You're probably already following him. If you're not, that's where you can. So second up, we've got Ricky Wysocki. He is not exactly having the greatest year, but he is a 2-time world champion, and he is the reigning champion in Vermont at the courses where this event is going to be played. He's won the Cascade Challenge and the Preserve this year, so 1 Silver Series and 1 Elite Series event. And he's been in the top 10 a lot as well when he has been healthy, but as you can see, only playing in 15 tournaments so far this year. That's, 6 fewer than Calvin here. So yeah, he did have a bit of an injury that he was dealing with, Lyme disease flare-up. That's kind of haunted him for years now. So this is a good time to just say, anytime you're going out, make sure you check yourself for ticks. And if you do find one on you, be sure to talk with your doctor. Now, looking at Ricky's stats, he's 51st in fairway hits, which surprisingly to me, that's quite low relative to the field. But he is 23rd in parked, 14th in C1 in regulation. So when he is hitting the fairway, he's very often getting to the green, 45% of the time. Circle 2 in regulation, 67% of the time. That's good for 38th. So he's 5th in birdie percentage as well, and 22nd in scrambles. 57th in C1X putting though, at 84%, but 5th in Circle 2 putting. So we can see here, Ricky gets a lot of birdies. He makes a lot of circle 2 putts. He's usually in circle 2 2/3 of the time. So he's quite the putter from range. Everybody knows the Raptor legs. He's getting 48% 30 or below this year, 40% par. He's 193rd in OB rate, which is surprising to me. But again, we're talking about the 2-time world champion and the reigning champion at this course. So certainly one of the top contenders as well. Following him on Instagram, SakiBomb13. Next up, we have Gannon Buhr, the young phenom. He's won a lot of events this year. 3 Silver Series or A tiers, 3 3 Elite Series as well. The Memorial, we all know, down in Arizona. The Open at Austin, Blue Ridge Championship, Des Moines, Kansas City Wide Open, Idlewild. Some great wins here from Gannon. A lot of top 10s and podium finishes as well, but we also see some lower down finishes when we look at as far as who's the number 1 player in the world. Why is it Calvin? You know, even though he doesn't have quite as many wins as Gannon, we see a lot more, top 10s relative to, his lowest finish being 16th. You see Gannon came in 50th at DDO, 30th in Vegas. We've got quite a few here in the 20s, 19. He's just not always finishing at or near the top. But when he is playing well, he's playing extremely well. Naturally, the stats very much back that up. He's 21st in fairways hit, 28th in parked, 29th in circle 1 in regulation, 49th in circle 2 in regulation, but he's 4th in birdie percentage, 8th in scramble, 15th in C1 X putting, and 1st in circle 2 putting on the Pro Tour. Very impressive. 60th in OB rate. Just a fantastic player, as we can see here, who gets a lot of birdies, especially from circle 2. He's a very underrated long-range putter. He putts with that nose-down style, very unique as a taller player. He's quite crafty in the woods, as we saw at Idlewild getting the win. He really wanted to prove to himself and everyone else that he could do it in the woods, and I believe he's done that. So we'll see if that can translate over to these courses. He's become very, very woodsy lately, though, as we can see here in this photo. He's a great follow on Instagram. Check out Alden Harris on YouTube if you haven't. It's a fantastic channel, very funny. It's all jokes, of course, great humor. But yeah, Gannon also has a YouTube channel, instructional, you can check out. And yeah, follow on Instagram, Gannon Buhr DG. Next up, we have Eagle McMahon, who has been working through some stuff this year as well. Like Ricky, he had an injury 2 years ago, so he's not quite back to where he was with the forehand. He used to be the #1 forehand player in the world, in the opinion of many people, including myself. But these days, he's more of a controlled forehand player. So he's still got a phenomenal backhand, though, and every once in a while he'll whip out the lefty nowadays. So yeah, he won the challenge at Goat Hill Park this year, the Beaver State Flang Silver Series, and he's come in second a few times, fourth a few times. Not his greatest year so far. He's really looking for that big win, this big signature win. He's got a couple of big championships to his name, European Open last year, and the Kona Peace Day Open back when that was a major, quite a few years ago. We see some really low finishes. Uncharacteristically low finishes, such as 109th there at Portland, 55th at the OTB, 35th at Waco. Those are just not up to Eagle's standard of play. His stats, though, 50% below par this year. Very nice. He's 64th in fairway hits. Not so hot for him, but second in park percentage. So when he is hitting his lines, he's like under the basket. 5th in circle 1 in regulation at 49% of the time. Very impressive. 19th in C2 in regulation. 3rd in birdie percentage, 3rd in scramble, 11th in Circle 1X putting, 88%, and only 71st in Circle 2 putting, which is surprisingly low. I've always thought of Eagle as a very good putter. If you're not following him on Instagram, 2-time major champion, Eagle WMCM. Check him out. And of course, we have to talk about the 6-time world champion, who's also on this photo here on the PDGA website, Kristen Tatar. And she's on every tee pad, her picture. Yeah, he's not though. But yeah, Paul McBeth, 6-time world champion. He has had an up and down kind of year for him. Was recently injured and has not played the last few events, so you know, it's going to be interesting. Can he come back fully healthy? We've heard from him today at the press conference that he's going to try, but you know, we'll see. 75th at European Open, where he had to drop out, unfortunately. Estonia Open, very poor finish for him there. His cameraman did better than him, but he does have some wins at the Pro Forester, the Swedish Open, and the Skellefteå Open. Sorry, Swedish people, if I butchered that one. And the PCS Open as an Elite Series win, his only Elite Series win of this year. So, not the greatest year so far for Paul, playing in 17 tournaments. Only making 30 grand for him. That's easily on pace for the lowest of his career as far as cash. Just not a great year for Mr. McBeth so far. He's looking to turn it all around though. And his statistics this year: 30th in fairway hits, 62nd in park percentage, 21st in Circle 1 in regulation, 9th in Circle 2 in regulation. So, you know, he may not be parking holes all the time, but he is mostly hitting the fairways and getting himself putts. 7th in birdie percentage, very nice. 4th in scramble master. 30th in Circle 1X putting. 24th in Circle 2 putting. Those are some lower stats than many of you would expect from Paul. He's just not the #1 player in the world this year. He's not the #2 player in the world this year either. And no offense, I don't think he's top 3. I don't think he's top 5 right now. This has just not been the Paul McBeth that we're used to over these many years. This is the new field that he's going up against as well. A lot of great players, many of which we mentioned already in this video. If you're not following the 6-time world champion, odds are you are, like 227,000 other people. Check him out at Paul McBeth on Instagram. So, to wrap this one up with some final predictions, while it is very hard to bet against Paul, because he's either finished 1st or 2nd in every single world championship since 2012 that has been played, I don't know. With the injury, I just can't do it. So Calvin is going to be a top contender. Gannon is going to be a top contender. It's going to come down to those two in my mind. They've been the top 2 players all year. But this time, I think Calvin's finally going to get over the hump, get his big signature victory here at the 2023 World Championship, and cement himself as one of the dominant players in the sport going forward, and prove to everybody who's been saying, oh, he's #1, but he doesn't get the wins. Well, you know, he does get the wins. He's got 3 wins already this year, and this would be a huge one. This would be incredibly massive for Calvin's career. He does not have a major victory to this point, and that's surprising to a lot of people as the #1 player in the world. So it's about time, and I think now is the time for Calvin to finally break through and get his big win. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I know we're all super excited for the World Championship. I can't wait. I'm sure you can't wait either. It starts tomorrow morning. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.